Okay, welcome aboard. I just thought we'd just do a quick video on things we do, or things I do just when I'm coming into airports. A bit of planning. Realised I didn't have the microphone plugged in. Looks like it's working now. So I'm on my way to Mildura for some work. Those of you who don't know, I do some road safety and driving safety type stuff, so I'll be there for a few days. So coming into Mildura, we use Oz runways. I can click on Mildura here, and the first thing you notice, I can bring up these cameras so I can actually see live video of what it looks like, and obviously blue skies, very helpful. So Oz runways has that feature where you can see live cameras from the actual airstrip itself. I've got some information here. If I click on that and then open up documents, it brings me up the URSA, which is a document we can use. So I write down on my little knee board here, you've probably seen me use it in lots of videos, and look, I love this. I can put my phone in there, carry some pens, lots of checklists and bits and pieces, and it all folds up nice and neat, so pretty handy device. Alright, so Mildura, first thing I note, elevation 167 feet. So basically that allows us to know how high above the sea level the actual runway is, so that when we make approach we need to be about 1,500 feet above that when we're above the circuit, and around 1,000 feet above that for our circuit area for our circuits. So that's the first bit of information I jot down. And the next thing is I actually take this diagram here and I draw it for myself with the runways on it. So I've got runway 18 and 36, that would be, and runway 27 and 09. So north, south, east and west. And what I do is just make a little note of where the hangars and buildings are. So when you fly in, sometimes it's hard to get your orientation, but I find by putting that there, it helps you orientate yourself when you're coming in. Make sure you're on the right runway, you're doing the right communications. Okay, so we need to have a look. Aerodrome charges. Woohoo, we have to pay to land there. That's life, sadly. Next thing is security controlled. You have to have a security clearance to land there. A lot of debate in Australia about that ASIC card. I do have one, so it's not a problem, but it's one of those things where you pay $300 for a card that just lets you land at an airport. Kind of a bit weird, but is what it is. We don't need to worry about that. It's a bit about circuits. Then it tells us about fuel, so it tells us if we can get fuel, what fuel's available, and we can see World Fuel Services Avgas tanker and a 24 Avgas carnet and a card swipe Bowser, so Visa and MasterCard or via the smartphone app. So it means I can pull up there and get fuel without any real problems at all. Very helpful. And then we're just going to zip down here, got the runway directions.
Cessna 172, November, Papa November. On the dead side when the engines are drawing crosswind, low level circuit, Castle Main.
And then we've got some local traffic regulations. Limited parking for aircraft above a certain weight, not a problem for us. There is grass parking with tie-down facility for aircraft below that weight. Adjacent to taxiway Alpha and Bravo. Aircraft not directly visible to each other on the thresholds of 0927, so I've got to keep an eye out for that. Otherwise, right-hand circuits on 27 and 36. So what I do is I put an R next to 27 and 36 here, so that it reminds me to do right-hand circuits on those runways. And that's usually to stay away from either people, towns, houses, maybe also from, because there's terrain or something like that. Birds may be present on the surface. It is a training airfield. There is RPT, which is your normal airline or small regional airline traffic going in. Glider operations as well. There's a little bit there to know. So basically all that information is on there. And then I guess the last part of it is I just look at the distances to go and my height. So we need to be down around 2,000 feet for argument's sake. We're at 8,500. Got to lose 6,500 feet. 500 feet a minute, which puts us at 13 minutes. So when we're 13 minutes away from the airfield, basically we should start the descent, and that sets us up nicely. So I might just make a note here of top of descent, 13 minutes. That's about it. Oh, the frequency was the other thing which I actually pick up, but we can see it there. And it should be also in here. That's the other important thing to write down is the frequency use. the CTAF 118.8. So 118.8. So when you see me jotting on here, that's what I'm doing. I also use this to monitor fuel hours, like shutdown times, log how much fuel I'm burning, and also write down any other aircraft that are flying around. So if they give their radio calls, so I can use them. So yeah, that's what we do on the way to these locations. It's pretty handy to have this technology available now. I will say, I pointed out to a few pilots lately, my backup map, interesting enough, there's not an aviation one. I do have backup iPad and phone, but the trusty UBD map, you can buy from any news agency, and you can see here I made lots of notes on it, and it's really handy because if everything failed, this gives you some pretty good ideas of where you are, where you're heading, and give you some good bit of bearings to small towns. And I find this map's almost more useful than what we use, which is a whack chart, which is just has a lot of info. So just a quick apology, the battery died on the camera, that one. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll make some more, maybe. Safe landings, people.